So Francis, let's start with an overview of Diversified. Tell me about the company and what you offer when it comes to sports broadcast.
Okay, so Diversified are a global systems integrator. We are predominantly known in the US of A, where we cover the likes of Fox Sports, Disney and multiple NFL teams. We have ventured into Europe within the last 8 to 18 months, and we are offering the same types of media services, whether that be broadcast studios, media supply chain, communications and storage, like everybody else at the moment, trying to be a little bit of a differentiator, I suppose, in the market. We're kind of coming at it from an advisory point of view, and we feel like we have the opportunity to be that little bit different and offer something slightly slightly a different approach than what people would normally expect from an integrator, with a bit more background and focus on the user journey. Certainly within sports, we would predominantly work with the likes of football clubs for in-house TV studios. I think that's one of our main aims. We've certainly worked with two within the last 9 months, and we're talking to at least one other club at the moment about building a physical TV studio for their TV channel.
Okay. The big recent news for Diversified has been the launch of the Atlas Orchestrate cloud deployment platform. Tell me more about this and why it was needed.
So the Atlas platform is being built by our innovation team in the US, who are a group of extremely clever individuals who are focused on the future of broadcast. And like everybody else is having the questions now, we've questioned ourselves of where the future is, and we've decided that predominantly the future is mainly going to be in the cloud one way or another, whether it's a hybrid or whether it's fully cloud, and therefore systems integrators need to add value, and providing that added value is something that we're doing. We've built our own platform. Atlas is actually a platform for everything that we're going to develop. It's our own platform which will allow us to develop all sorts of new tools, and I think that the first thing off the pipeline or the production line, if you would, is Atlas Orchestrate, which is a cloud-based orchestration tool. I think we've got at least 8 or 9 vendors on board at the moment. We're going to increase those vendors, and the idea is to give people the flexibility and choice of which cloud vendors they want. So if they have a preference for Readal comms over RTS, or the same with vision mixing, then they can pick and choose whichever ones they want, all through one seamless platform. In the background, we'll spin everything up, and the idea is that we effectively will churn out a single bill. And again, the reason why we're working with the manufacturers is because if people already have existing licenses and things like that, we're going to take them into account. We're certainly in the early stages of but it's a long-term thing for Diversified, and over the next few years, I think you'll see much more development on that product.
Excellent. And are you seeing more sports production companies invest in cloud, and if so, why do you think this is?
So I think from our time, certainly in Europe, we've only been here for about 18 months. We're seeing that there is a shift to some extent. Again, a bit like what we've just seen today around the tennis, is that there's a lot of footage hanging around in a lot of clubs. There's the need to go to social and the need to create content, and therefore one of the quickest ways and easiest ways of doing that is to go into cloud storage. But then once they've got cloud storage, then that allows them the ability to then actually stream straight up there, and again it kind of pushing the needle in that direction like people have suggested, it can be a little bit more cost efficient to do these things now than it was previously, or to, if you're a new club or a lower league club where you've got financial constraints, then, investing in physical hardwares, tends to be a bit more difficult, and cloud makes the entry point a bit more accessible for them.
Okay. And aside from cloud, what would you say are the current technology trends impacting sports, and how do you see this developing over the coming years?
So I think, again, really today's been pretty reminiscent of exactly that question, and you can see that obviously social media and online content and the difference in consumers, especially the younger generation, of how they want to do it, and all the changes that you're seeing. I think we're probably in a period where there's a bit of trialing going on of, I don't think we'll necessarily see what all of the future is, because there's a lot of different ideas bouncing around there. You've got the Bundesliga who've done RefCam. You've got, we talked about goggles and whether they're actually a fad or a real thing. And I think that the answer is probably a little bit further down the line for everybody, and it will potentially be a little bit of a hybrid, but it's all relevant conversation at the moment, that's for sure.
Absolutely, thank you, Fran.